Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw here at Virtuoso Travel Week in Las Vegas, as I always am every August. And I'm here with, actually, he's not such a familiar face. I've been interviewing him years ago. He's back, though, Jason Montague, and this is the first time I've had a chance to interview him since he was named Chief Luxury Officer for two cruise lines you know, Oceania and Regent Seven Seas. And we're going to get a chance here at Virtuoso to talk with him because he's got a few ships coming out, including one coming up very soon. Absolutely. And we're going to find out all about that and a whole lot more on Insider Travel Report. Jason, first of all, it's great to see you. It's been a while.
James, it's thrilled to be here with you, especially right now, being here with you after everything that's going on. So really great.
I'm happy to be here too.
And
so
you look great too.
Thank you. Well, you got to get those diet, and with the sickness comes a diet, I tell you. But yeah, it's great to be here. And actually, we'll probably be seeing each other in November when Allura comes out. So
we do have a christening coming up.
You do have a christening,
yes.
And then a year from now you got another one, I think, if I recall it. But let's talk a little bit about, we really haven't interviewed you since you became Chief Luxury Officer for both lines, and I was kind of curious, what was it, the thing that led to your return? You're just bored? I mean, what's going on?
I did, so I stepped down at the end of 2022, which was a difficult decision. My son was a senior in high school, so spending time with the family, trying to figure out if I could slow down and maybe be a little bit on the normal side and enjoy playing golf a little bit. But my golf game was atrocious, and so that didn't last long. But after a little bit over a year plus, my wife knew that how much I love the industry, and she was pushing me to come back. So she's very supportive, and couldn't be more thrilled to be back with both two brands, which are very, very special to me.
Well, one of them you had overseen, but you hadn't overseen both of them. Now, what was it that kind of led you to actually create this post? Because you have a different kind of title. Why did you call it Chief Luxury Officer?
The history of both brands go back a while. So I worked with the business plan on Oceania back in 2002 before we even opened the door.
I remember.
And so I was President and Chief Operating Officer over both brands for 2 years before I moved only onto the Regent brand. For the last 6 years was President and CEO. So when I started talking with Harry about coming back, we were really making a very, very big investment in the luxury space with both brands. And so we're putting such a big focus on this expansion and with the multiple ships we have on order coming, that we wanted to frame the title around that, Chief Luxury Officer, and what we're really driving in the investment we're putting in the luxury space.
Yeah. So what is the strategy going forward? And I'll take you back to when you first did one of the new Oceania ships, and I asked Frank Del Rio, who was running the whole thing, and you were there back then. I said, so Frank, what is the difference between Oceania and Regent? And I said, here you have Oceania, you got incredible food, you got suites, you got everything else, and why isn't this luxury? And he looked at me and said, because it's upper premium. And so I said, okay, Frank, I got it. But how are you differentiating the lines at this point?
Yeah, when we first built the business plan and Frank obviously is a mentor to mine and learned so much from Frank, so I'm so thankful. But we built the business plan, it was on the R-class ships, which were not purposely built for Oceania. And so they did a tremendous job with Marina Riviera, now with Vista and Allura out. Yeah. Those ships are pure luxury, top to bottom. Yeah. And the industry has evolved over the last 20 plus years. And when you look at the expanded luxury category, there are more players in. And so we wanted to make sure we fully positioned Oceania as a luxury brand for what we deliver on board the ships and the purposely built ships. And so it is firmly in the luxury space. Yeah. Now, they have the largest standard staterooms in the industry.
Wow,
yes, so it's, when you look at it from that standpoint, it's a great entry point into luxury. And Oceania is always about choice. And so you have the choice of, do you want to have drinks included, or do you want to pay for them, one drink at a time? Same thing with shore excursions. Now, Regent, all suite, all balcony, right. The most inclusive experience. When you think of, we just launched the sales for Prestige, which is actually going to be delivered in December of 26.
So that's
the largest. That's the
Regent Prestige. Yeah.
Yeah. The Regent Skyview Suite is a 2-story, almost 9,000 square feet, 25,000 a night, and she sets the tone for Regent in that ultra luxury space. So we believe we really do capture the best of the luxury market. So Oceania, the luxury of choice, having those largest standard verandas in the industry, right. And then you go up to a Regent, who sets the tone with that Skyview Regent Suite at $25,000 a night.
So in a way, they're both luxury, but
they're
slightly
luxury, but different. But we cater to some people who like that all-inclusive aspect when they don't have to worry about anything. Other people like to make sure they're actually paying for what they want to experience, and they have that choice. So we think we cover the market perfectly.
So you do have a lot of more inclusions, and obviously the thing at Regent was shore excursions are included a lot, right?
Correct. And all liquor, so all the fine wine, beverages, everything included from that standpoint. Where Oceania, you can customize it. Now, Oceania always included specialty restaurants. We include gratuities, include Wi-Fi, so it has that base offering that all guests want. But sometimes guests want that choice of what excursions they want. Do they want to package it in themselves? And same thing with beverages.
No, so that sort of delineates. But back in the day when I was talking to Frank, it was a little bit different, and that was the first of the really luxury offerings that Oceania had with the new ship. But you're right, the Arc class ships, great ships. Everybody loves them. It's still they're cruising for you. They're cruising for other lines, but they weren't exactly the suite product was not quite there, right?
Correct. And we're looking at, we've actually charted a few off, and we're looking at what to do with the next two and how to evolve them either to match the purposely built ships or move them on to their next life. But again, tremendously special ships that have a special place for Oceania. But as you look at the purposely built ships, those were built as luxury class ships, starting with Marina in 2011.
Yeah, well, I remember seeing that, and that was a revelation when it came. And Frank was hanging the art on the walls, if I remember at that point.
He was running around the ships doing it himself. It was amazing to watch, and that's the kind of leader he was, and that's how we learned. That's how we learned in the industry. So.
Now, you mentioned that you have, you're sort of offloading a couple of ships, one from Regent and one from Oceania, and they are going to this new Residence at Sea program, which is what's his name? Russell Galvin. We just interviewed him. It was one of my first interviews actually since I got back, and he's going to get two of those ships, Insignia, and then what's the Navigator?
Navigator, right? Yeah, Navigator on the Regent brand.
And but you, I think, are still going to be operating the ships for him, right?
Yeah, they're charters over to him, so and they're long-term charters from that standpoint. So we are working with him, separate companies, but working with him to help launch the business that he's doing, which is a very interesting space that he's operating in.
Well, he definitely was, and for all the, there's really only been one success in that market in all these years, and nobody's jumped into it. But I think if anybody's going to be successful in that, it's going to be him.
It's going to be Russell and the team. He's got a tremendous team built around him. He also
was the chairman of Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings too, so he's got a little experience.
He does have a lot of experience, and I've worked with him for a very long time. Great partner. And so we're excited to see what he does with the business.
And so, would you perhaps give him some of the other ships when they're?
You never know down the line. Yeah. So we'll see how the other two R-class ships evolve.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what's your plan to kind of grow both of the existing brands that you have, Regent and Oceania. Now, you got new ships coming out, Oceania this November, and then a year from now you're going to have Regent, right?
Yeah, so we just took delivery of Oceania's Allura in July, and she is stunning from top to bottom. She was, we've delivered a lot of ships in Fincantieri, and they're great partners. The ship was immaculate prior to us even signing over for delivery, so happy with the ship. Now the next class for Oceania is the Sonata class. So that comes out in 2027. It's going to be 86,000 gross tons and 1,390 passengers, so very excited about that. We'll have a new suite category in between the Penthouse and the Oceania suite. And so we're going to have a little bit of a better cabin mix on those class ships, which is exciting. And then, of course, on the Regent brand, we have the Prestige platform with a new ship coming.
That's a new class, right?
That's a new class coming in December of 26. And so we're very excited for her to join the...
And how is she going to be different from what's in the fleet now?
Well, it's only 822 passengers, so a slight increase from our 736 passengers on the Explorer class ships, but over 40% more gross tonnage, so a lot more space. We'll have an additional dining concept, the Azure Mediterranean concept on board the ship.
Sounds great, because you got both lines have incredible dining. I mean, Oceania made its mark on dining, and Regent has been great all the way through, right?
Yeah, the cuisine is always a critical item with the Oceania focusing on being the finest cuisine at sea, and Regent Epicurean perfection is how we go about in talking about cuisine on the Regent brand. But it's a pillar, just like the service. The staff on board the ships for both brands, that's what brings it home. They're the heart and soul of the brands, and you can see it when you go on board any of our ships of how the guests interact with our crew. It's pretty special. but it's the hospitality aspect and ensuring that we're delivering amazing experiences for our guests throughout the entire voyage.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to Allura, and we'll probably do another interview when we both get on Allura in November. You can take me on a tour around and all your best places for Allura.
We'd love to do that. We'd love to do that.
Would be fantastic.
Fantastic.
So, first of all, congratulations on coming back. You couldn't, it's everybody, once you get into travel and you've been there for a while and cruising, it's hard to leave, right?
The people, we have a tremendous team. So it's not just the team in the shoreside offices, it's on board the ships, but it's our travel advisors, it's our travel partners, and it's the guests, and obviously people like yourself that make this industry so special. So it really is. It's a privilege to work alongside such an amazing group of people.
Now, anything else you want to say to her? We go out to about 125,000 travel advisors today.
So we do have, not only do we have the new ships coming, we have multiple new ships coming. So the travel advisors are such a critical component of how both brands have grown. So truly appreciate all you do, and we look forward to partnering with you and growing together.
Jason, first of all, glad to have you back. You missed you, even if you are a Boston Red fan. We won't talk about it, and the Yankees are horrible this year, so we're not going to get into that. That's for another conversation. We'll see in November where we are. Okay?
We'll absolutely see you in November. It'll be interesting to see how this year unfolds.
I don't have any high hopes. So anyway, great to see you, and congratulations again on the new role overseeing both Oceania and Regent.
James, great to see you, and great that you're doing well, and thank you to everyone.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.